This is the QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM. And I am Mamna Buka. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. The Gambia held its third national dialogue on Monday ahead of its 61st independence anniversary, focusing on strategies to leverage human capital and enhance infrastructure to promote inclusive and sustainable growth for all citizens. The Cornerstone Group has unveiled the Gambia's first public free solar-powered electric vehicle charging station, ushering in a new era of sustainable and eco-friendly transportation in the country. Smart Professional College, a leading IT and technical institution, on Saturday held a graduation ceremony to celebrate students who successfully completed TVET and other advanced technical courses. As part of its ongoing Settle Sunyureu, Keep Gambia Clean campaign, the Q Group Foundation conducted a large-scale community cleanup on Saturday at the Coastal Road roundabout. In international news, China has announced plans to eliminate tariffs on imports from 53 African countries, with Eswatini as the sole exception due to its diplomatic ties with Taiwan, whose sovereignty China disputes. These and more coming ahead. Do stay with us. The Gambia on Monday convened its third national dialogue ahead of the 61st independence anniversary to discuss strategies for leveraging human capital and strengthening infrastructure, aiming to foster inclusive and sustainable prosperity for all. Julian Jai has the rest of the story.
The high-level dialogue held under the theme Harnessing the Gambia's Human Capital and Infrastructural Resources for an Inclusive Leap to Prosperity is examining how strategic investment in people and infrastructure can accelerate national development. Since the proclamation of 16th of February as National Dialogue Day 3 years ago, the event has become a key feature of the country's Independence Day celebrations. It is set aside for reflection, engagement, and collective introspection through constructive dialogue. Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow stressed that sustainable progress depends on human capital, with people as the key agents, catalysts, and beneficiaries of development.
They must be the engine of development, and they must also be its beneficiaries. We therefore must harness the potential of our human capital. We can do so successfully, however, if we invest in our human resources, particularly the youthful population, in order to make them effective participants in our national development process. Investment in education, in training and capacity building must be and must remain a key priority for national development. It is indeed the key to national development. And many of us look forward to the day, indeed, when quality, relevant, compulsory education is available in this country at all levels and to all people.
Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Sidi Njai, noted that the theme reflects the country's national transition, emphasizing that development in the 21st century is defined by tangible improvements in the lives of citizens.
Since 2017, the Gambia has experienced a developmental reawakening of unmistakable scale and consequence. Across our regions, an infrastructural revolution has unfolded. They are by far systematic, deliberate, and people-centered. Modern highways and feeder roads now wave our nations into a coherent economic space, reducing travel time, lowering the cost of trade, stimulating tourism, and binding communities in shared national destiny.
Minister of Public Service Babukar Boy highlighted how engaging with citizens enables the government to incorporate their needs and aspirations into the national development agenda.
The Gambia we aspire to build a peaceful, developed and cohesive nation requires unity of purpose. It requires that we rise above differences and work collectively toward our shared destination. That is why district and regional dialogues precede the national gathering.
Discussions are also focusing on infrastructure, roads, energy and digital connectivity as key drivers of economic growth and private sector development. Reporting for QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
The Cornerstone Group has unveiled the Gambia's first public free solar-powered electric vehicle charging station, ushering in a new era of sustainable and eco-friendly transportation in the country. Here is my report. The initiative, spearheaded by the group's sustainability arm, serves as a practical demonstration of the country's solar potential and equally aligns with a broader vision to decouple the country's transport sector from its dependence on expensive and polluting fossil fuels, destabilizing the nation's environmental health. Operating entirely on 100% green technology, the facility offers free charging of electric vehicles to the public. Unlike traditional charging points that draw from the national grid, this station is fully off-grid and solar-powered, ensuring that the energy used to fuel vehicles is as clean as the cars themselves, essentially setting a new standard for sustainable transport infrastructure in the Gambia and across the region. Alaji Sanyang, CEO of Cornerstone Group, shared more technical details on the facility.
I have a lot of friends who have electric cars outside of Gambia, but they are afraid to bring it to Gambia. And the reason being that they are not sure if the grid will be able to handle it. And this is a proof of concept that, this is 100% solar. So you can have solar at your house, and the solar that you have in your house can be powering your electric vehicles that you have here. This can charge up to 28 cars in a week, depending on the kind of car that you have. With the fast charger, it can go anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours to have a full charge. Like the pickup trucks that we have, the full charge will take us 520 kilometers, like from Carton to Koina. And then it will have you have something left, and that is charged within 2 hours. So again, this is open to the public. We have a phone number that we will distribute with all of you. Just call in and come anytime and during the day, and it will be charged for you for free.
Gambia's Environment Minister Rohi John Manjang stressed that the project turns clean transportation from a distant goal into a tangible reality, reinforcing the country's commitment to protecting the environment for future generations.
The green economy is not a distant concept. It is being built here today in the Gambia by Cornerstone. To the private sector, let this be a call to action. Let us demonstrate that sustainability is not a burden, it is an opportunity. Invest in renewable energy, invest in clean transport, invest in climate-smart solutions, because the future economy must be and will be green.
Ajifatu Sanyang, an environmental enthusiast and daughter to Alaji Sanyang, delivered an urgent message to the audience.
We do not want a future full of smoke, noise and pollution. We want clean air, we want green cities, we want technology that protects the earth instead of destroying it. This project shows us something very important. The future does not have to be important. The future can be built right here at home.
The charging station, offering zero emissions and free use, signals the start of a shift toward a cleaner, self-sufficient economy, where solar energy powers homes, offices, and the vehicles driving the nation forward. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News. Smart Professional College, SPC, a leading IT and technical institution offering a wide range of professional and vocational training program, on Saturday held a graduation ceremony to celebrate students who successfully completed TVET program, including IC3, GS6, digital literacy, and other advanced technical courses. Pakabasuso reports.
The joyous occasion brought together students, parents, staff, and dignitaries under the theme From Class to Career, the SPC way, highlighting the institution's practical, skills-based approach to education. The theme highlights SPC's commitment combining hands-on training, industry-relevant skills and professional competencies to turn classroom learning into real-world career success. Digital literacy is essential in today's job market, driving productivity and employability. Smart Professional College graduation celebrated academic success while reinforcing the importance of digital skills and critical thinking. Omar Cham is the CEO of Smart Professional College.
Our theme today, From Class to Career, the SPC way, captures who we are, what we stand for. At Smart Professional College, education does not end in the classroom. It begins there. The classroom is where knowledge is introduced, skills are sharpened, and confidence is built.
Highlighting the challenges that lie ahead, guest speaker Babukar Jaju and board chair Mfali Jame advised the graduates to remain disciplined at all times as they pursue their future careers.
I would highly want to encourage you to understand that you are not only ordinary graduates, you are pioneer of the modern digital Africa that we're all heading to.
Smart Professional College transformed lives of young high school graduates who didn't know where to start after grade 12. Today they are steadily making progress in the field of information technology. Congratulations.
Dr. Jojo Ndur Tambedu is the Executive Director of the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund.
And by 2030, there'll be over 230 million jobs. But with digital innovation, it's an opportunity to have brain gain. With the skills you have, you can sit anywhere and be able to access jobs globally.
Dembo Jata, speaking on behalf of the graduates, expressed gratitude to the SPC team for their guidance and support while encouraging his fellow graduates to uphold the values of discipline and hard work in their future endeavors. Pa Musa Jallo, a proud parent, expressed pride in the graduates' achievements.
My daughter is one of the graduates after 2 years when she finished her grade 12 and waiting to go to university, which she started now. So she took this course, and I thought it was, like you said, ICT is the future. Everything is digital. I'm an engineer. She's training to be a lawyer. Even all you guys do, everything is digital. So I'm very happy to be here.
This ceremony also featured SPC students performing dance and drama, highlighting the importance and power of digital literacy. And there was more as artist Atagay Borom Dikabi delivered lively performance that entertained the audience. Smart Professional College reaffirmed its commitment to expanding access to quality, industry-relevant training programs aimed at empowering young people with the skills needed to thrive in an increasingly digital and competitive economy. The graduates received their certificates, with the most outstanding students earning special recognition, marking a significant milestone in their academic journey. For QTV News, Pakaba Suso.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national, international, and sports news stories. Do stay tuned.
Browse with us.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. As part of its ongoing Settle Sunyureu, Keep the Gambia Clean campaign, the Q Group Foundation conducted a large-scale community cleanup on Saturday at the Coastal Road roundabout, close to a bustling market. Yafatugay tells us more.
The cleanup drive unites young volunteers, local residents, and several Gambian artists and comedians to tidy the environment. Participants also educated passerby on proper waste disposal, emphasizing that maintaining cleanliness is a shared responsibility. Carried out in partnership with the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, the initiative seeks to curb littering and illegal dumping, promote public health, and foster long-term behavioral change through education and awareness, especially among young people. Beyond cleanup efforts, Settle Sunyureu motivates communities to take ownership of their own surroundings, strengthen collaboration between government agencies, area councils, local communities, and the private sector, and promote recycling and other eco-friendly initiatives that generates economic opportunities for young people. Keeping our environment clean is essential for health, safety and biodiversity. Proper waste disposal, recycling and reducing litter prevent pollution, protect wildlife and preserve natural beauty. Every individual's effort contributes to a cleaner, safer and sustainable world for all. Through continued community engagement and strategic partnership, Q Group Foundation Setal Sundreo aims to foster a nationwide culture of cleanliness and environmental responsibility for current and future generations. Reporting for QTV News, this is Siafati.
Coming up next is international news. China has announced plans to eliminate tariffs on imports from 53 African countries, with Eswatini as the sole exception due to its diplomatic ties with Taiwan, whose sovereignty China disputes. Jacqueline Coley has the details.
China is deepening its economic ties with Africa through a new import tariff policy. Africa-China trade reached $222 billion in early 2025, and this figure is expected to rise after the planned tariff removal on May 1, 2026. Previously, Beijing maintained a zero-tariff policy for 33 African countries, but the policy now expands to the entire continent, except for Eswatini, which maintains diplomatic relations with Taiwan, whose sovereignty China disputes and has threatened to defend by force. The move comes as African nations increasingly pivot away from the U.S., which has imposed high tariffs on many African exports. With the new policy, African products entering China will no longer face import taxes, making them more competitive in one of the world's largest consumer markets of 1.4 billion people. However, zero tariffs do not guarantee success for all African traders. China enforces strict requirements on packaging, food safety, and certification, while many African businesses still face challenges in logistics and scaling up operations. If leveraged effectively, the policy could boost Africa's export earnings and promote local processing industries, shifting the focus from exporting raw materials to adding value within the continent. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Coley.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced a military deployment to bolster police efforts against organized crime and illegal mining. With the nation grappling with some of the highest crime rates globally, the army will now move in to dismantle violent gangs. Here is Mamadou Gajaga.
President Ramaphosa made the announcement at the State of the Nation address, saying criminal gangs must be confronted, with the army supporting the police in breaking the cells of gang violence and crime which has besieged the country for decades.
As is required by the Constitution, I will inform the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces regarding the timing and place of the deployment of our soldiers and what it will cost. We have to act to rid our country of gang violence. At the same time, we are implementing an integrated strategy to address the root causes of crime through coordinated interventions across society, from street lighting to access to social services.
He said the military deployment would start in the provinces of Western Cape and Gauteng, home to the cities of Cape Town and Johannesburg, because of rising gang violence and illegal mining respectively. Last month, Police Minister Firoz Chachalia said the country's police were not yet able to defeat the deadly criminal gangs, in a stark admission that underscore the scale of the country's crime crisis. Authorities blamed illegal miners, known as Zamazamas, typically armed, undocumented foreign nationals, for their involvement in organized crime syndicates. Ramaphosa ruled out deploying troops to Cape Town just 2 weeks ago, saying soldiers were trained for combat and not community policing. He did not explain why he changed his mind, but there have been increasing calls for him to take action to tackle gang violence. Beyond the military deployment, President Ramaphosa announced additional measures to combat crime, including recruiting 5,500 police officers, strengthening intelligence, and targeting crime syndicates. South Africa, the continent's most industrialized nation, has long struggled with entrenched organized crime. Police data shows that an average of 63 people were killed each day between April and September last year, taking the total number of murders to 5,794 in 2025, slightly lower than the previous year, but are still high compared to other countries with high crime rates. Meanwhile, in posts on their social media handles, police in KwaZulu-Natal arrested 2 suspects on Thursday for robbery and possession of an unlicensed firearm. They also announced the Free State Welcome Anti-Gang Unit had swiftly arrested 3 suspects wanted in connection with an alleged house robbery that occurred in Bergville, KwaZulu-Natal. The captured burglars, their vehicles and weapons were put on display. Crimes ranging from rape, burglary, armed robbery, and murder are common in South Africa, and it remains to be seen whether the deployment of troops will make a difference. Momodu Gajaga, QTV News.
That report by Momodu Gajaga brings us to the end of this bulletin, but before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. The Gambia held its 3rd national dialogue on Monday ahead of its 61st independence anniversary, focusing on strategies to leverage human capital and enhance infrastructure to promote inclusive and sustainable growth for all citizens. The Cornerstone Group has unveiled the Gambia's first public free solar-powered electric vehicle charging station, ushering in a new era of sustainable and eco-friendly transportation in the country. Smart Professional College, a leading IT and technical institution, on Saturday held a graduation ceremony to celebrate students who successfully completed TVET and other advanced technical courses. As part of its ongoing Setal Sunyureu Keep Gambia Clean campaign, the Q Group Foundation conducted a large-scale community cleanup on Saturday at the Coastal Road roundabout. In international news, China has announced plans to eliminate tariffs on imports from 53 African countries, with Eswatini as the sole exception due to its diplomatic ties with Taiwan, whose sovereignty China disputes. That's all for this bulletin. Join us again at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.